everybody. So I will be talking about detectors for physics and medical imaging. Also, I have very few slides on medical imaging, and I have already given this talk in the beginning of this week. But there I have told everything. I have given some overall idea. Now, in some points, I will go into the deeper. Okay. So basically, detectors for physics, and physics means we want to detect, some radiation, right? Because we are working for fairs, and in fair there will be huge accelerator, and there are 4 experiments. You already heard the names, and I am basically working on a CDM experiment of fair, and then accordingly after the collision, after the interaction, how the particle will be produced and how those particles will be detected, those things I will basically discuss. And I am Shoikot from Bose Institute, Kolkata. So as I already told, I will try to cover the basic operation principle of different types of detectors, physical processes underlying the principle of operation of those detectors, and then how we build those detectors and comparing their results. That I will discuss. So the broad classification of detectors basically includes 3 kinds of detectors. The oldest one is the gas field detector, where I am mostly work on, and then scintillator detectors. Those detectors also we are building in our institute, and also the solid state detectors, but I have not worked on this particular detector. So first I will start with the gas field detector, which is the oldest detector. So what do you mean by gas field detector? As we know, or the name is telling, that gas field detector means it will be a chamber kind of thing where the active medium is a gas. So to do this, we obviously need a chamber. So, and also we need 2 electrodes. So it may be the case that the chamber wall itself is 1 electrode, and then in the middle I can put another electrode kind of thing. And then to operate that detector, I need a high voltage power supply or voltage power supply. Then we also need electrode, as I told, and then how it works, I will come to that point. So this is a very simple kind of gas detector, you can say. So it is a cylindrical geometry, where the wall itself is the cathode, which is kept at lower potential, that is say at ground, and the central where we will keep it at higher potential, such that there will be an electric field produced inside the volume. There will be some proper gases, and when radiation enters to the gas, there will be some interaction, and finally I need to detect. That is the goal. I have to detect the particle. Now, how particle interact with matter? Like there are 2 kinds of particle. One is called charged particle, where those particles interact with matter by Coulomb interaction, and there are some uncharged particle like your neutron or gamma ray. They interact some other way. Like gamma ray interact with matter by 3 common ways, like photoelectric effect, pair production, and Compton effect. So basically, if I start with the uncharged particle like gamma ray, so gamma ray will come and interact somehow here, and then it produce, these all 3 processes, what I just told, that the outcome is the electron, that is a charged particle, and those charged particles we will detect, and finally I will get the characteristics of that gamma. So finally it will be done inside the gas volume. And if you take some charged particles such as beta or alpha, or say something else, neon kind of thing, then those charged particles immediately interact with the gas and produce electron ion pair by ionization by Coulomb interaction. Now this is the description of the basic principle of any gaseous detector. So there is one term is called primary ionization, as I told, when the charged particle enters to the gas and it immediately ionizes some of the gas molecules. So some number of electrons and ions are produced. Those electrons are called the primary electrons because they are produced by the primary interaction. Then if you have no voltage, say there is no applied voltage, no electric field, nothing, then once there is ionization, that means production of electron and ion, immediately after that they will recombine, because Coulomb attraction will tell them you recombine and again neutral molecule. But I don't want that, because to detect the particle I need something I should get at the output, such as current or pulse kind of thing. So what we do? We usually apply some electric field in the gas body. You can see here in the cylindrical geometry, the electric field configuration is something 1 by R ln B by A kind of thing, V by R ln B by A, and this electric field is more intense near the wire. And when the charged particle enters, it will produce electron and ion. Electron will try to go towards anode and ion will try to go towards cathode. If the electric field is strong enough, then those electrons will get enough kinetic energy to produce further electron ampere, and that is called secondary ionization. And at the end, you will see one avalanche of electrons. Some electrons will be produced, and then finally I will collect those electrons by current or by some pulse, some external electronic circuit I need. Now this is the general characteristic curve of any gaseous detector. So you can see this is the x-axis is the applied voltage and y-axis is the number of ions collected, or you can say some current. So you can see there are two lines. One is for alpha particle, another is for beta particle. Now if the voltage, applied voltage is very low, what will happen? Once the electron ions are produced because of the interaction, then it will try to recombine again, because if the applied field is very low, it will immediately recombine. So that's why this first region is called recombination region. Then if you increase the voltage little bit, what will happen? Electrons will try to go towards anode and ions will try to go towards cathode. So if you slowly increase the electric field, you will or voltage, you will see that you will get a saturation kind of thing. Now first question is, why saturation? Saturation is because this means the whatever primary electrons are produced, all electrons are collected without any further ionization. That means there is no secondary. Only all the primary electrons are collected here. This particular region is called ionization chamber. And then if you further increase the voltage, then those electrons will get more and more kinetic energy, such that they will ionize more and more to the rest of the neutral atom. And then you will see the number of electrons is going up. So it is increasing. How it is increasing? Now question is, first I will tell the name of this region. This name of the region is proportional region. That means something is proportional with respect to something. Then what are these somethings? These somethings are basically the primary number of electrons and secondary number of electrons. That means in this region, secondary number of electrons are directly proportional to the primary number of electrons. So in this plot, I cannot expect any linearity. I cannot expect any proportionality, because this curve is not by primary by secondary kind of curve. This is voltage by number of ions or number of electrons here. Okay. So here the number of ions or collected electrons or whatever you can say, it will increase with voltage, but it will not increase with linear function. It increases with exponential function basically. So here the number is increasing exponentially in this particular region, but the number of secondary is directly proportional to the number of primary. And on the other hand, you can say number of primary is also directly proportional to the energy deposited in the gas medium. So on the other hand, you can tell the output charge or pulse, whatever, pulse height or total charge is directly proportional to the energy deposited in the gas medium. So only if you operate your detector in this region, you can measure the energy of the deposited energy, you can measure. Okay. Now if you increase the voltage further, there will be more and more ionization, but the linearity breaks. So at the end you will see that even for alpha and beta, there are not two lines, only one line. So now the pulsite or charge is independent of the charge particle. Now you will get only a pulse. If there is a particle, you will get a pulse. Okay? And you will not get any energy information there. This particular region is called granular region, and then you will get only discharge, that is called discharge region, if you increase further the voltage. So here I told something about ionization chamber, how we basically measure the output voltage, which is the total charge by the capacitance of the circuit. I will not go into the detail. And then I already explained the proportional region, proportional counter, and then the used gas is usually P10, which is a mixture of 90% argon and 10% methane. Or in our particular detectors, I will come very soon, we use argon, carbon dioxide mixture. Now, yeah, these are also the details of the GM counter. Now, this is one experiment of the FAIR facility, which is called the CBM experiment. I already told, where we will explore the TCB phase diagram at low temperature and moderate baryon density. There are many kinds of detectors: STS, silicon tracking station, muon chamber, TRD, transition resistion detector, RPC, resistive plate chamber, and projectile spectator detector. There are many detectors. Among them, this Mach, TRD, RPC, they all are gaseous detectors. So I will try to cover some of them. And India is responsible for the whole of the detector system and all the electronics for Mach, muon chamber. So we are basically working on Mach. So this is another picture of the Mach. Here you can see there are several iron absorbers to absorb the baryons. I will not go into the detail, but and we finally want to detect dimuons which are produced in the interaction. So here one picture. So you can see this is the interaction point, say from here to muon produced, and also some hadron produced. We want that hadron must be absorbed in the absorber, and the muon go through, and it will give signal in the detector. So there are several, these are called stations. So in the first and second station, we will put GEM, gas electron multiplier, because this is the only detector can handle such rate. And then we can try to use ST, means trottive detector, or we are also exploring the possibility to use resistive plate chamber, RPC. So these are the schematic of a GEM detector. GEM stands for gas electron multiplier. Here you can see this is basically a foil of 50 micron thick kapton, which is high insulator, and then on top and bottom there are 5 micron thick copper, and lots of holes are drilled in this foil, and the diameter of the hole is 70 micron, and the pitch, that means the center to center distance, is 140 micron. So if you apply some voltage absorber of 400 volt across these two plates, there will be and before that I want to tell, if some charge particle goes and if there is some ionization in the gas, so this will be called as primary ionization. Then the primary electron will try to go through this hole, and if there is some voltage, the electron will be, there will be avalanche of electrons, so many electrons will come at the bottom and the ions will go on the other side. So this is a single gem, but with a single gem I cannot increase the gain. Gain stands for output charge by input charge, number of total electrons collected by the primary number of electrons. So gain I cannot increase to very high value. So to do this, what we can do, either we can increase the voltage to a very high value, which is we don't want, because if you increase the voltage very high, then there will be a probability of spark. So what we do usually, we apply moderate voltage to individual gem foil, but we use a cascaded gem foil. That means instead of one gem foil, I use 3 gem. So in CBM, we will basically use triple gem detector. And there are a typical gain plot for gem. These are not done by me. You can see the reference, or it is done in Shauli's group, who is the inventor of gem, Professor Khairul Shauli.